witness how we remove the axe from our inventory. So the clipping here will stop. Oddly enough... Oh, I see now. When we had the smaller heavy shield, the cloak was constantly clipping. But... Oh, there's still a cloak. I was about to say they removed the cloak, but they didn't. It's just now only when he's praying with this clipping, and now it's... This is tightly, neatly made, this is correct. There's no clipping with the cloak. Alrighty, welcome back to the Crusader camp. We've done it. We've finished the game. 10%, maybe even 5. So we need to talk to people before we can begin our crusade. I mean, I love the idea that we just managed to get the queen. I'm just curious. I mean, the evil path that was possible for us, would that have meant that we would have become a servant of darkness and we would have entirely different way how to, well, address this entire world? Would we have fought the Crusaders if we would have turned evil? Maybe I'm going to make our entire playthrough where we just become evil. That would be interesting. Anyway, social. Wait, before I talk to him, let's go to the chapel tent. See if we can talk to anyone, but there's no one here, so... Oh wait, loot. Glowing croissant. Glowing croissant. I mean, I believe the correct pronunciation is somewhere along the lines of croissant. Or croissant? Croissant? Somewhere along the lines of that one. But I'm not French, so please pardon my mediocre skills of... Oh, he's constantly praying. I mean, I'm not the most religious guy, but if I would imagine myself in a world with gods that are real and shining halos and angels supporting humanity, I would probably be a bit like him. Anyway,
hello again.
Socio.
I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, his voice perfect, so I don't need to read so much. A young cleric stands before an easel, his brush hovering over the canvas without touching it. Instead of painting, the young man absent-mindedly gazes at the sky of Kenablis, which is still streaked with towering plumes of black smoke. Finally, he notices you and smiles, shaking off his stupor.
It's a pity I wasn't there at the Grey Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately that it was a good sign. The light above the city showed us that there was still hope.
Who are you, and how could you possibly be fused to my army?
My name is Sozio Vanek. I am a cleric of Shaylin, the Eternal Rose and the Goddess of Beauty. Yes, I know that many people would consider me useless in a war. This is not a usual war, though. Just consider our enemy. The Abyss and his demons are the very embodiment of everything evil and ugly in the world. Perhaps a disciple of kindness and beauty might come in handy.
Shaylin, also known as Eternal Rose, the Eternal Maiden and the Incorruptible, is the goddess of art, beauty, love, and music, and the half-sister of Zon-Kuthon. Shaylin focuses just as much attention on inner beauty as outer beauty. In her role as goddess of beauty, Shaylin also promotes the creation of art, and the composition and performance of music. Clerics of Shaylin frequently are artists themselves. As the goddess of love, Shaylin encourages the proliferation of that feeling in all its forms. She is not the goddess of sexuality, lust, or fertility, and draws a very clear distinction between love and sexuality, although she does not in any way discourage erotic love. The few paladins who worship her practice courtly love. Okay.
I have no doubt that we will win this war, Commander. We just have to. It is our destiny. My role is to help you, and all those standing by your side in this struggle, to to survive and flourish. Everyone deserves the chance to find peace and happiness in the world that they are defending so selflessly.
Mind I ask, what are you painting? The cleric's eyes linger mournfully on the canvas. The unfinished painting depicts a temple crowned with a rainbow-tailed bird. The symbol of Mishulin. I don't see a rainbow-tailed bird. And I don't see 5 people dressed in robes stand before the temple. Men and women, young and old, well, they all gaze back at you with radiant happiness and joy in their serene eyes. Yeah, I need to have a lot of imagination to imagine that here.
My brothers and sisters in faith. They sent me for help and then they saved my life, Commander. If the Prioress hadn't ordered me to escape the city and seek help, I would have died right along with them. Instead, I met Queen Galfrey on my way to Nerosian and hurriedly returned to Canabris. I want to draw them the way they live on in my memory. Wise, beautiful, and loyal to their goddess and their city to the very end.
I have no idea what just happened. I slightly touched the spacebar again. You might have noticed that this is happening more often. And I have a new keyboard, and supposedly it's a super cool Razer Huntsman keyboard. So on paper it's extraordinarily accurate and it immediately detects any kind of movement. It has some fancy mechanisms. Instead of ordinary mechanical switches, it has a light switch with real light. But the problem is I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. The problem is that my old keyboard broke down. If I even breathe against one of the keys, it instantly, begins to work. Things that I'm going to, that I didn't input, and that's just bothering me a bit. It doesn't do false inputs, really. I did touch it, but just very slightly, and that's already enough, and I'm not sure if I really like that. So I apparently activated some sort of dialogue option. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I will never forget that I owe them my life. Every minute of it, every breath that I take, is a gift they gave me. Now it's my duty to make sure my friends and tutors did not die in vain. I will honor their sacrifice by making this world a bit more beautiful and kind.
That is a very nice way how to, well, go around the world. Oh, that's just beautiful. I just noticed the art drawn on his breastplate. What made an artist enlist in the army?
Perhaps I am a true artist, or simply an amateur who defaces canvases in my spare time. My goddess is a patron of art, so painting is part of my prayer, and I put all my heart into my pieces. But I am a cleric above all else, so I must also tend to others. I went to war because here's where I'm most needed. Sure, I could be painting idyllic landscapes and offering empty prayers to my goddess, but that won't stop people from dying. My goddess has no tolerance for false piety.
What? Praying in dark caverns without changing the world for the better is considered false piety? Well, modern religions now have a huge problem. You wanted to discuss something with me, right?
Yes, I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Canabris behind, I would like to visit Martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it's important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shaylin who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I would like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family will be at the funeral, and perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort. I know that you are burdened by many cares right now, so I understand if you can't find the time. But if you could, I would be sincerely grateful. You must be rather busy indeed. Leading a crusade all by yourself is no joke. I still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you've given us a chance at victory.
We march ahead.
I'd love to visit Heaven's Edge and see the R&D estate someday. Oh, I was just about to mention it myself. I've been thinking, now that I'm in the middle of this whole crusade nonsense, I simply must devise new ways to have fun. With all the recent commotion, my birthday completely slipped my mind. What if we were to celebrate it at Heaven's Edge? It's not far from here, and you'll get to enjoy a banquet in a bona fide haunted house. Duran seems to have trouble getting the words out, which clearly indicates how rarely he has to ask for anything. Since you're my superior and I'm your advisor, I am obliged to ask your permission to leave for the festivities. And I want to invite you too. I'm sure the commander can free up one afternoon while the soldiers are on leave. Are you really going to throw a banquet at the very place where your whole family died? Duran purses his lips for a moment before replying in a bored drawl. Yes. What of it? Am I supposed to weep and quake with fear for the rest of my life? I've stayed away from the damned place for 10 years, and now I'm going to return there to drink, dance, and be merry without a care in the world. You can keep your squeamish disapproval to yourself. Alrighty. I'm not disapproving of that, I was just wondering. Deal. Perfect! You'll have a ball. I'll make sure of it. Something strange flickers in Duran's smile. Wait, what did just happen? Wait, what? Oh. People say that you are deliberately trying Queen Galfrey's patience. Is that true? Does it even matter? All of Mendivian high society has declared war on me. They either despise me or they're trying to steer me back onto the right path, and I'm doing everything in my power to keep them on their toes. I relish the prospect of all the fun this mess in Cannabis will bring. Duran grins from ear to ear. I shall either commission a song, or the great Cannabis fiasco from a certain talented bard, or confuse the jewelers with a rather tall order. A batch of silver dragon toys with detachable heads. Give me a week. They will be in every shop in the capital. The heroic dragon who died for our future deserves respect, not your mockery. She's dead. She doesn't really care. She can't care anymore. And I shall enjoy 3 or 4 minutes of rather pleasant thoughts about the rage of those sanctimonious fools who pestered me the most. So, how do you like your new role, advisor? Duran winces. You also enjoy poking with that stick, don't you? Imagine it, me, a crusader. If my dearest cousin hoped to teach me a lesson, she managed it perfectly. An assignment I couldn't avoid without losing face. This idiotic journey leading straight into the demon's maws. I could have been on a pleasure boat right now, with the loveliest songsters and pitax on my arm, and a bottle of the finest Kionin wine to keep us company. Pitax's origins lie with brigands from their neighbor to the north, Brevoy, who sought sanctuary amid the forests of the river kingdoms. A band of vicious thieves made a hideout in a riverside hamlet known as Pitax. As they visited there year after year, the ill-gotten gold slowly transformed Pitax into something considerably larger than a simple sleeping fishing village. Eventually, the bandits settled in Pitax permanently, building walls around the village, hiring sellswords to help defend against their enemies, and crowning themselves kings of a newfound realm. With this, Pitax became a permanent fixture of the river kingdoms, able to survive and thrive for nearly 4 centuries, while others around it withered and decayed. I mean, if they're brigands and they're brigandeering, it doesn't surprise me that other settlements around them are decaying and withering. Incidentally, I blame you for all of this. Well, actually, I think Cousin Golfrey is to blame for everything that's happened to me, and I suppose some of my misdeeds could be considered my own fault, but I can hardly be expected to take responsibility, can I? Certainly not. Therefore, I shall lay all the blame at your door and plot my revenge. He gives you an innocent smile. Did you also receive a fraction of that unusual power? Ah, looks like it. I genuinely hoped that getting away from you would be the end of it. If your gift truly did come from Yomide, then giving me a smidgen of that power was a very subtle joke on her part. I had no idea that our divine lightbringer of Mendiv even had a sense of humor. Don't get me started on my many acts of sacrilege against her. That obscene engraving. The truth about the test of the Starstone is the tamest one by far. The Starstone is a unique gemstone meteorite that was part of the massive meteor shower that struck Golarion in 5293. This event, known as Earthfall, caused caused. I'm a bit surprised actually. Usually in a game, you have BC, AD, or in the Star Wars lore, they're trying to fixate dates of the Battle of Jarwin. So before Battle of Jarwin or after Battle of Jarwin. And here they're just saying we have a 0 and we have minus and positive years. There's no distinction with AC, DC, BF, something, just some abbreviation that could give you a hint as to when this happened, past or now. Okay, let's just go with minus. I should go. What else do we have here? Field medic. Sure, let's talk to the field medic. Your fawn autumn haze. The elf before you casually rests his bandaged arm on the weapon at his side. He bows with his head with dignity. I congratulate you on your new rank, Commander. My hunt demanded that I travel with your army. Naturally, I wouldn't burden your forces with the need to care for an outsider. I have provided myself with all the necessities. I met Kailesia. Fawn's melancholic expression remains calm, but his entire body tenses and his fingers wrap around the handle of this weapon. Under what circumstances? I hope you seized the opportunity to kill her. Are you certain of your allegations? Fawn lowers his head and says in a hollow voice, I am. Her misdeeds are terrible and proven with absolute certainty. She claims she doesn't serve the demons. Of course she does. In an attempt to buy her life, she would stoop to the boldest and the most egregious of lies. Whose words do you trust, hers or mine? In any case, I let her go. After giving you a saddened look, Fawn stares off into the distance. Your decision is regrettable. I'm afraid that in doing so, you've condemned her many future victims to death. I suppose it just means that bringing this hunt to a close falls upon my shoulder. I don't even remember her. When did we let who go? Oh dear. Visali Rathemos. A stout old man with a fuzzy grey beard greets you with a deep bow. Well met, Commander. You've caused quite the stir. Everyone thought Kenabris was done for, but the gods had other plans. That was quite a blaze of the great garrison. All the vermin running out with their tails between their legs. Dude, his belt. I mean, what the heck? That's the biggest belt I've ever seen. It's ridiculously big. I love it. And why does he have a bow and arrows equipped when he's standing in a healing tent? I mean, isn't that a bit uncomfortable? Okay. Who are you? Visali Herathimos, former rector of the Kenabut Temple of Abadar, and now your humble servant. In times like these, one cannot serve the god of cities while sitting comfortably behind a city wall. You pursue a sacred cause, and I will help you in any way I can. I await your orders, Commander. Lead us onward to Dresden. How did you end up on the battlefield? Everyone here has a story like that, but mine's rather boring. Believe it or not, it was bureaucracy. When the old rector of the Kinabatas temple died, may Abadar rest his soul, the church required a replacement. I volunteered and served for 30 years without incident. I prayed, organized festivals and funerals, bought candles, sanctified water, boring, mundane things that make up the daily routine of a civilized society. But then, civilized society failed, and it was time for me to go to war. Praise Abadar, who led me through the ruins to the defenders of heart. Who's that boy with you? Ah, this one. Kiadu, the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Erastil, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. Erastil, also known as the Old Deadeye and the Stag God, is one of the oldest human gods still worshipped in the Inner Sea region, and is concerned with family, farming, hunting, and trade. During the Age of Creation, Erastil was among the gods who battled Rovagur when he sought to destroy Golarion, and who were eventually able to contain him in the Dead Vault at the planet's core. His religion dates back to before the Age of Darkness, when small farming communities and hunter-gatherers prayed to him for bountiful harvests and successful hunts. Legends claim that it was old Deadeye himself who crafted the first bow and gifted it to humans to overcome the challenges of the world. Even as the accomplishments of civilization mount, Erastil continues to embrace and represent the simpler pleasures life has to offer. My friend, what kind of help can I expect from you? First, if you need a scroll with a divine spell, I have a lot of them. Something for every emergency. Secondly, while you are at the camp, I can read any scroll for you. Guaranteed no surprises. And you'd better not leave the camp without a cleric. I won't be going with you, so you'll need someone else who can read scrolls. Oh, do we need a cleric to identify stuff? Show me the scrolls you're selling. Scroll of Raised Dead. You restore life to deceased party member. Raised Dead also removes the Death Store condition. Oh. Well, hello there. Wait, I didn't really want to buy 99, but I'm fine with that. No, let's wait. What just happened? Okay. Let's buy 15. What else do we have? Resist, blah. Oh dear, he has a lot of scrolls. Like a heckload. Where's the expensive stuff? Where's the good stuff? Resurrection. The spell functions like Raised Dead, except that you are able to restore life and complete strength to any deceased creature, even the ones killed by death, effect, or disintegration. Oh! Okay. Hello there. Command's Ring. 5 competence bonus and perception and trickery. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, please. Potions. Hello there. Maybe we're going to leave one. Maybe he will replenish. I'm not sure what happens if we buy all. So let's give one back. Headband of Alluring Charisma. Cloak of Resistance. Lesser Empower Meta Magic Rod. Okay. Pest Control. Red Salamander. The wearer of the ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously, grants him the ability... Oh, fire stuff, okay. Bookworm's Headband. Penalty to Charisma and Persuasion. Bookworm. Intelligence up. Immunity to Compulsion, but minus Charisma and Persuasion. Coin of Protection. Specialist's Belt. Oh, whenever the wearer of this belt uses a scroll or potion, it gives +1 to its caster level. What? Not bad. Not bad at all. Alchemist's Kit. Yeah, of course we're going to buy it. Scroll Scrubber's Kit. Sure. Stuff I don't need right now. Headband of Inspired Wisdom. Why not? Dinosaur Bone. First aid kit. Sure. Couple. Scrolls. We don't need that. This stuff is cheap to be good. Wand of Ray of Frost. Scrolls, blah. Summon large elemental. Summon monster 5, direwolf. And now we're getting somewhere. Beast shape. You become a large wyvern. You become what? Become a large shambling mound. Oh, hello there. Now we're going somewhere. Interesting. Wyvern. Sure, let's get a couple chances to become a wyvern. Disintegrate. Summon a huge earth elemental. Okay. I mean, I don't mind. Summon monster. Soul Eater. Well, that sounds very interesting. Power World Blind. Wand. Sure, let's get a wand. Stuff. Angelic Aspect. You can take on an aspect of an angelic being. Sounds good. Chain Lightning. I don't care. Scroll of Dragon Kind. You are in a dragon-like creature form now. Seriously? Okay. Let's buy black, blue, white, silver. Scroll of Polymorph. Wait, what? The target creature becomes a medium dragon-like creature. Oh, gold dragon kind. Hello there. Large water elemental, wyvern. Third target, not we necessarily. Let's get the wand, another wand. Cure light wounds, that's not bad. Alrighty. Interesting. So we can now turn stuff into dragons. That's a bit unexpected. Kiado. Okay, so he doesn't talk.
Our path leads on.